Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Astro Room, your very own portal to the cosmos. Here, once again, discussing the new firmware version of the Seestar. Pretty nice that we have, once again, another what seems like a major update to the firmware of the Seestar. And let's dig in. And keep in mind that this is version 2.0, that is software version 2.0. And once you finish your firmware update or this new update, once the Seestar is done doing that, it'll actually tell you, a little page pops up that will tell you the firmware version 2.95 has been completed. So keep that in mind. There's a difference between software version and firmware version. Okay, so this is software version 2.0, also known as a firmware version 2.95, okay? So we're going to click on me. I'm going to go to the gear, and we're going to dig in. When you go to the About page under What's Fresh, that's where it's got all the information as to what this new feature is. So let's go to it. Number one is pre-initialization feature for image enhancement. Let's see what that is. I'm going to exit here. This is going to be under your advanced feature. And it's under, you see it here. This was not here before. This is what's new. Initialization. If I click on this, they've separated here horizontal calibration. This was here before. This is nothing new. But now they added here skip autofocus. Skip autofocus and initialization. And so what it says here is that basically what the Seestar is going to do is as soon as it gets to an object, it's going to autofocus for you, which is pretty neat. And if you don't want that to happen, you can turn this on, right? Skip autofocus. So if you click this off, then it's going to be autofocusing. If you turn this on, it will skip it. Okay? So like it says here, Seestar would carry autofocus automatically. If Seestar is in good focusing position, you can skip it. So up to you. What we'll have to see if this is actually now available as a feature in the stargazing mode where we can actually manually do it, or does it have to be done through here? We'll see. But that's interesting. It will automatically autofocus for you. So let's keep going. So this new feature, number 3 here, I like it, and I also don't like it at the same time. But it's actually not bad. There's just a little workaround to this. You'll see what I mean. So it added one-click open arm and close arm functions. So it's exactly what it says it is. You can now, with the touch of one button, I'm going to click on this right now, open arm, it will automatically open up your lens of your Seestar. You know, before it used to have these two little arrows, the up and down arrow here, where you can manually open up your lens. Those arrows are not there anymore. And that's kind of what I miss. I wish it still had that because it only opens up your lens or your arm a little bit above halfway, or just about a little, yeah, just about halfway. And I like to manually open it up all the way almost to the top, just because I put on the dew shield on there, like the light pollution blocker that I put on top. So, and your workaround to that, if you need it to move up all the way, once you're done clicking on the open arm, what you're going to do is, at least the workaround that I've thought of, is you go to scenery. If you just want to open up your arm more, right? More for it to be more pointing up, you're going to open up that scenery mode and then just manually do it through here, right? You're going to click on that and just manually move your lens through here. So that's the only workaround I can find to that if you want to manually open it to a certain direction yourself. Okay, so then you have your close arm, which will just literally close automatically your whole Seestar lens back into the beginning position as it is originally when you're going to start up. So going to go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is added solar system observation mode, which is pretty cool. Basically now your sun and moon and all the planets in the solar system are there at one click, so to speak. So let's go to it. So it's just going to be right here on your homepage. You click on solar system, and here it is. You can just go to it with the click of a button. Now you can still go to your sky atlas and search for the object here, like your sun or moon, you know, whatever it is that you want to look for. And if you click on this is the menu that comes up. And if you click on locate target, it'll take you to your sky atlas, which is cool. It'll let you know where it is. So that's pretty cool. So it'll do that same thing either way. If you click on this too, it'll take you straight to it to locate target position. So either way, solar system, and we can click on go to, and then now what I'm seeing is it will pop up your stargazing, or in this sense, it's going to be just your regular image view as it's going to the moon. I kind of wish that it showed the sky atlas to see the scope actually slewing there. I'm going to see if there's a way around that, if I can just look at the Seestar to make sure it's going directly to what it needs to go to. But then again, this star field finding the moon thing is pretty cool. So if you want to just look at your scope directly, slewing to it instead of it popping up with the screen, you just do it through your sky atlas and click on go to down here instead. So you see that it stays on this page. And now you can see it coming in, right? Your lens going to where you want it to be. I prefer to see that happening, but that's just me. I like to make sure the Seestar really got my object, so. Okay, so now we see it here using that new feature, basically now saying initialization progress, preparing for image enhancing. That's not really new. I think that part always, you know, this always happens, but now it just says this. And remember, it's going to be doing its image enhancing, and then after this, I'm assuming it will do its auto focusing. So I went ahead and let the feature be used. I want to see how it does the auto focusing. And there it is. It looks like it's auto focusing. And remember, like I said, you can turn this off. You can turn this off to where you can do your, yes, from what I see here, you can do your own manual autofocus. Okay, so this is interesting. It immediately started doing image stacking. So it did the image enhancement, it did the auto-focusing on its own. I still haven't seen the object. Oh, there it goes. Wow. Okay, and it immediately started doing image stacking, which is pretty interesting. I guess in a way it does save you, I guess, steps from you having to do each one. Not sure how well focused it is. I guess I would have to stop it to then do auto focusing on my own. So yeah, from what I'm seeing, I had to stop the auto image stacking to then do my own autofocus. So now I can officially do my own auto-focusing. Okay, so I'll definitely have to try, whoa, we've got a trail there. I'll definitely have to try and do this again when maybe we have no more or not so much moonlight, because I didn't like the autofocus feature, the automatic one, because as you noticed, it looked like my stars earlier were like completely out of focus. So I rather do my own and turn on the feature that says skip autofocus and perhaps do my own. Then again, we have a half moon out there practically, and that, I don't know if that might have affected it. I would have to try it again on a different object. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so number 4 is added automatic imaging mode for GoTo targets in the Sky Atlas. To me, the automatic imaging that is happening is, I don't know if that's referring to the image stacking, which it was doing it earlier when I went to the Star Antares, and it automatically started stacking right away. And it's automatically right now stacking the image. So it definitely skipped the autofocus. But what I wish is that it didn't do that. I wish in the sense that I wish I would have given me the chance to do my own autofocusing, because now I would have to stop it and then start my autofocus. But this isn't looking bad. This is Lagoon Nebula right now. Let's move on. Added distance display. Number 5, added distance display for GoTo targets on the observation page. Okay, to me, stargazing is observation page. Okay, I think this is what that is. Added distance display for GoTo targets on the observation page. Observation page to me is just stargazing. I went back to the moon under stargazing. That's why it looks like this, but I want you guys to see how it says distance to target, the degrees. So I'm seeing now that my Sky Atlas is on the moon and it is looking at that, but if I exit out of it under solar system view, I can't go back in to click on it and see my moon again. I basically have to click on GoTo for any of these objects, I guess, for solar system view. It won't just let me view it right away immediately. It's gonna tell me this feature again. It's gonna do this again. So yes, I saw it right away, but it's basically finding the moon again. Like if it looks like it's trying to slew to the object again instead of just staying there. But I don't know if that's good or bad, but that is a little bit strange. I wish I didn't have to wait for it to finish doing that to see my moon again or my object. So you see how I did exit right now? If I want to go back in, if I go to solar system and I go to gazing, it does it again, where it's like trying to find the moon, even though it's there. Before you know, your object would just pop up and you're done. But now it's going to be always, I guess, checking that your object is there. I don't know if this has to do with all the problems that people are having with not being able to track the moon. It's just going to constantly try to keep looking for it or making sure that you have your object there in center view. I'm not sure. Let's see if this remains as part of the update or if ZWO Seestar decides to get rid of that feature and go back to how it was before. But it might be a good thing for people who are having issues with always locating your moon. Number 6 is added more settings on the observation page, manual focus, tutorials, and sharing. I'll show you where this is. So these are the new settings on the observation page, which is basically, this is the page. It used to have a little arrow here where you would click on it and it'll give you a screenshot or it'll take a picture of your image and it'll save it to your device. But now if you want that, you're going to click on share. And there's your screenshot and it's saved to your device. And now you have your manual focus panel, which comes out here, and tutorials now. You can turn that off as well, the focus panel. I like this other new feature, added object favorites feature in the objects. So now you can favorite or unfavorite an object, swipe left to favorite or unfavorite an object. Let's look at that in action. And you see a favorites feature here. I've already put 2 things here as my favorites. And it hearts them. You see the little hearts. So basically you can do it under search objects or under any of these. Let's say galaxy, splinter galaxy up here. You're gonna move or swipe to the left and then you can click on the heart. It'll add it to your favorites. And that's anything, right? You can go to a cluster. Let's say you really like this one. It's your favorite object. Click on the heart, it's added to favorites. Now to undo that, you're going to see them all here under favorites, what you've added, right? Here they are. To undo it, let's say your Splinter Galaxy, you don't want that anymore. You're going to click on more, and they're all here. All your favorites will be listed here. And you're going to swipe again. You see that swipe, and then click on the heart, with the cross on it. It's crossed out now, and you see it's gone. It's not under my favorites anymore. So now I'm back to 2 favorites. I think this is the one everyone was waiting for. Added custom object features in the objects. So now you can put in your declination, right ascension, so your longitude, latitude, your coordinates, to find a particular object. This is wonderful because as all of you know, there's some objects that are just not, we cannot search for them, and we have to find them the long route. But now we can find them like this by putting in the coordinates. And I want to do that now to test it with Corona Borealis real quick with the Blaze Stars TCRB. Okay, so the added custom object feature in the objects where you can add your coordinates is going to be under the My Favorites here to the right. Click on More, and it says Customize. This is where I found it. If you find it anywhere else, let me know. Hopefully this isn't the long way to find it. But it's under the Objects feature like it says. And it's right here where you click on More. If I click on More here, I don't see it. It's not an option here. So I'm going to click on here. Customize. Name. Please input. So let's say I'm going to put in the Blaze Star. This is going to be interesting. Choose your location. Right altitude. Right ascension. 16. 16. 0. Let's look at the accuracy of this. I am very excited to try this. Okay. Declination. Plus 25. This is the Blaze Star. 25 degrees. 51. I'm so excited to try this. So if you click on Use Current Position of the Seestar, it's going to grab the coordinate of whatever object you are on right now. We're going to add it. Created successfully. Current altitude 61. Let's go to it. Blaze Star. Oh my gosh. And remember it was ice. Yep, this is going to be it because remember how it's next to IC4587? Go to it. So now it's under your favorites, Blaze Star, custom object as a custom object. Locate target position. There we have it. It did go to it. We can test it with a different object. So I'm going to add the star Vega. Name Vega. The coordinates right now are in my location 18. I'm using Stellarium to try to figure out the coordinates. 37 and then 47. Declination plus 38 degrees. 48. 31. Done. Add. And now I'm going to go to it. It worked. You see that, guys? There's proof. It's right there. That's awesome. That is Vega. That is absolutely Vega. That's the star. Okay, that was wonderful. It works. Let's go to the next one. That's got to be the best thing of this update that I'm seeing. That is wonderful. Now we can get our Blaze Star easy. Okay, the next one, number 9, added tonight's best object filter. So this is pretty neat. Let's look for that filter. Current best. And the filter is right here. So, wow. So I guess you can choose whatever time that you want to look at of an object, what time that it rises, perhaps, anytime from here to here. And it'll filter out a list of what you choose here, the altitude. Let's just mess with it to see. Okay, let's see. Let's do 55. And even, this is neat. This is great because let's say some of us can only see or can mainly see objects that are located in a certain area, like maybe only north, maybe only northeast, maybe northeast and west, and we can't see any objects in the south, and we can't see any objects in the south, then we can use this. Let's say I just want to look at objects in the north and the east. Let's say just this, north and east. North and northeast. Press OK. And at this altitude, at this time, I'm thinking and I'm wondering if it's when it rises or when it's viewable. At this altitude, press OK. And there it goes, it filters them. And yeah, this is right. This is right, because this is the main ones that I can see in my region. Oh, this is really neat. I like this. I like this. This I would say is the number 2 best thing. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love the filter. Right there. That's where you find it. And you can reset it. That's awesome. Now, the next one we saw already. It says it added the particle animation for the GoTo process. So that was the little animation, which was pretty neat. And look at, guys, this is the distance to the target. So if you have it open on stargazing mode, it'll show you your distance, I guess, of how your Seestar is slewing. If you're not looking at it under your Sky Atlas, then under your observation page or your stargazing, it'll show you as it's getting closer and closer to the object. The next feature here, number 11, added video decoding mode in settings. Let's go to that. Video decoding mode in settings. So settings right here, I clicked on the gear at the top right, and it's right here, video decoder mode. If any of you that are into software developing, let me know exactly more in the comments, the details of what this is. Hard solution, recommended. It's automatically checked. Video hard solution, excellent performance, strong compatibility. Soft solution, a must, hand warmer in winter. Heavy compatibility, applicable to all smartphone systems. So is this mainly to use in cold weather? Or maybe better for all types of operating systems when it comes to your device? What exactly is this? And the next one, and which is the last new feature, updated nearby light pollution map. And then the optimizations, optimized process to allow selecting observation targets before entering the observation page. Optimize shooting process to support one-click shooting and waiting for the image. Optimize the homepage beginner guide. Optimize text and user interface. Fix known bugs.